Welcome to another episode of Roll or Die. This week we are going across the Tasman. It's been a little while since we have met with and chatted with any of our friends from the land of the long white clouds, but today we are bringing you probably one of the most experienced practitioners in New Zealand, I would say. He's a 5th degree black belt. He has been doing jiu-jitsu for over 30 years, somewhere around 30 years. So
Yep.
he is the head coach of DS team, and he's affiliated with Six Blades Jiu-Jitsu. He is Douglas Santos. Thanks for joining us, Douglas.
Thanks you guys once again for the opportunity. As you say, it's really cool to have this connection. I think we are neighbors. I think we should talk more. We should train more together. Talk more. We're so close. But yeah, I really appreciate the opportunity. Just being here with you guys is great.
Awesome, man. There's a lot of amazing fighters that have come out of, like in MMA, that have come out of New Zealand lately. And I'm talking the last kind of 5 years or so. Do some of those, like Adesanya and all of them, I could probably try to list them all, but I'll leave people out. But do these people only train at like city kickboxing, or do they tend to move around and visit gyms? Like there's some pretty famous people rocking around New Zealand these days.
What I feel like, Anton, obviously I've been in New Zealand since 2000, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of the first guy that came and tried to establish, myself here. I'm originally from Florianópolis Island in Brazil. I've been training jiu-jitsu since I was 15 years old. I'm 51, so it's been 36 years.
Wow.
I live and breathe jiu-jitsu. That's all I know. That's all I do, and that's what I love every single day more.
Awesome.
And in 2000, when I got here, was basically nothing was happening in Auckland. Was few guys training jiu-jitsu, very few, I think, blue belts, maybe guys that got belts randomly from other guys that passed by or went overseas to training. So between 2000 and 2010 was mainly me, right? I was the guy teaching and trying to make things happen. And I did the first Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Auckland Open in 2003, if I'm not wrong. Was the first Jiu-Jitsu tournament ever in New Zealand, proper done. Of some sport Jiu-Jitsu happened here, which is different, a different style, different rules, whatever. So between 2000 and 2010, I was actually part of the initial scene of MMA and training guys to compete in Aussie, obviously, because Australia always being ahead of us. So even Israel was my student for some time.
Wow.
All the guys from I was teaching in city boxing for 4 years.
Huh.
So Eugene Barron was my student to his brown belt.
Huh.
So there we go.
Amazing, brother. So you've been around. You've been as that scene.
I've been around.
You were part of.
I've been punched on the face before. Trust me.
Wow, that's epic.
So you came over to New Zealand in 2000. Tell us about before that, when you started in Brazil. How did you get started in jiu-jitsu?
I was obviously the Cinderella story. I was that kid that didn't have a father figure. Unfortunately, my father was what you can call the greatest man. I still talk to him because I think we evolve as a person. But he wasn't really present in my life. And I started to work really early. I started work with 7 years old. I had no option. So I had to go and try to make some to help my mother. And when I was 15, I met someone that gave me opportunity to work with him as kind of a guy that carry bags. He was to sell surfwear. Funny story. And then he was a guy that was doing private jiu-jitsu session with someone, pioneer in Santa Catarina, the state where I'm from. So he was doing private with that guy, and he needed somebody to be a dummy, right? So I used to work for the guy like basically all day, and then at the end of the day, he say, "Look, I'm gonna do my jiu-jitsu private sessions, and I need someone to practice. Do you wanna be that guy? You might learn something." They never really told me anything. He would just beat the crap
Beat
out of
you
me.
up.
Imagine how guys on their late 20s, and I'm a guy with 15 years old, just there being a dummy. The big mistake was I'm not quitter, and I started things on my mind. So the funny part of this whole story, to make really short, is 10 years later, the guy became my student
Oh, wow.
because I took the opportunity. I learned few moves. I wasn't 15 years old anymore. I started to grow up. I got my blue belt. I spent 6 years on a blue belt. My generation, man, for you to change a belt, you have to really, really, really put the time, the hours, and the hard work. So I spent 6 years as a blue belt. So I was teaching, taking classes when I was a blue belt already. So funny, this guy, they gave me my first surfboard and my first gi years and years later became my student.
Wow.
Wow.
It's
So you
just
want to,
just amazing to know. I think it is, yeah.
so you started working did you say you started working at 17? Is that what you said?
7.
I woke
7
at
years.
7 years old.
Working at 7 years
Years old.
old.
7, 8 years old. I was handing pamphlets for the
Wow.
restaurant where my father used to work and my mom used to cook.
This is
So don't know.
amazing.
I had no option. Say you go out and bring some money, sell ice cream. I put those little, don't know, cooler and put on my shoulder and ice cream,
Wow.
selling in the street is very common in Brazil. And we are poor to the point that everybody need to work. My brother was too young, and mom was a very hard work woman, and was like, if my mom worked that hard, that's exactly what I need to do too.
Wow.
I had a really early lessons of life that made me really strong, not just physically but mentally.
Wow.
I was like, this is what life is, exactly how life it is.
So what
And
do you
if you
think?
ask me, I haven't stopped work.
So what do you think about that nowadays? Like, do you think that was like, it sounds like it was a great opportunity for you to be able to work at that age. Nowadays, parents, I can't get my 20-year-olds to work, let alone,
I mean,
let
I
alone a
think
7.
I think I was from a generation of, I don't even know what my generation could be called. And if you ask me if this is the right thing, I think it was a very wrong thing to put a child and just strip your childhood from you. What that really made me be, I think I don't know anyone that has the resilience that I do and have a strong mind the way that I do. You have to understand that I arrived in this country with a backpack without speaking English. I learned to speak English by myself. I'm the pioneer of jiu-jitsu here, and this is undeniable. People like me or don't like me. I have a really strong opinions, and they are my opinions, and I'm free to express them. And what I did for jiu-jitsu in New Zealand, no one will take away from me ever. I'm responsible directly for the development of jiu-jitsu in a country. I didn't went to a country where jiu-jitsu was and set up a sign saying jiu-jitsu. I cut the bush, I paved the road, and now the road is beautiful and it's plenty of people using, which is fantastic.
Wow.
So why New Zealand, Douglas? What took you there from Brazil?
Do you know why New Zealand? I'm telling you. The reason why is New Zealand, because on that time, in early 2000, I found out they didn't need us. The visa was not applying visas to come here. Was one of the few countries that you could just literally go straight, and when you arrive, on the customs border checking patrol, they will ask what you will do. And obviously my English was so me like, hey, what's your name? Douglas Santos. What are you gonna do here? Douglas Santos. Where are you from? Douglas Santos. My answers, I have memorized what I had to say. I'm a jiu-jitsu guy, I'm Brazilian, and I have phrases ready. No matter what they ask me, this is what I'm gonna answer to you. And then I remember I got 3 months, entry visa, and that was the biggest mistake, is being 24, almost 25 years.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It was a crazy time because obviously, the language barrier and have to learn body parts. And it was a crazy time, but I'm grateful. I think I'm coming to a stage of my life that I realize, I think this is just when I'm getting older. Jiu-jitsu give you a lot of perception. As you get old, you realize that every bad thing that happened to you turning to be the best thing that could ever happen. And that's exactly how I see life now. I don't
I love
see
that, man.
problems. I see obstacles, and I really get to the point where every single thing that I told was, "Oh my God, I'm gonna die." Relationships and this and then everything that turned. Well, that was the best thing that ever happened to me. Wasn't
Wow.
meant to be.
Man, there's a title for this episode somewhere in what you've just said. I'm sure of that. That's profound, and it's such a beautiful view of life. So what?
So
I
basically,
think you just get this as you get older. Yeah, sorry.
Not
yeah,
everybody.
you saying you came to New Zealand without knowing almost no English with a backpack, and that's pretty
Yeah,
much where you've been for
that
the
was
last
it.
24 years.
I was stolen from that time is used to be a company. They don't even run anymore. It's called Argentina Airlines Argentina. They don't even have anymore. I think they broke. Anyway, so I stole some of those airplane blankets, right?
I did that. I did that
Because I
last time
had
I flew to
you
Russia. I
did that
stole the
too. You
blanket to
see?
sleep in
So
the
I stole
airport.
as many as I could because I realized I came back, I came to New Zealand with 400 US dollars.
Right.
400
Wow.
US. That's all I had on my pocket. I had 3 months visa, a backpack and a case, and 400 US dollars.
I
And
think
I
Wow.
remembered, like, I was like, how am I gonna survive when I got here and I realized the cost of living and is a weekly life and everything is comparing to the money in Brazil, the reais was insane. But as I say, like, I think every struggle that I had in life shaped me to be like unbreakable.
Mm.
Like, I really believe that there's nothing you can do to me that's gonna make me stop to do things that I want to do. I recently, man, if I tell you what happened to me recently, is like this should be another episode. Try to make sure. I went to Brazil last year to prepare to compete for the worlds. I've been competing the world's master for the last 15 years, right?
Mhm.
I haven't got the world title. My wife is 4 times world champion. I never got it. So what happened is I went to Brazil to check with my doctors, see my family, get ready. I'm going for another world title run, and I found out I have a very rare disease on my heart that I wasn't aware about it.
Wow.
My heart was operating at 25% capacity. At 24, you die.
Wow.
Wow.
Simple as that. The doctor said to me, by a defibrillator, your heart going to stop any day from today. Tell your family to watch you. This is a very rare. We need to go deep. I did a bunch of tests, a bunch of exams. Long, short story. Came back to New Zealand, found a fantastic group of doctors that taking care of me now. And in 1 year and a half, 3 weeks ago to 4 weeks ago, I was in Los Angeles competing again and making podium again on the International Master. And I did a great performance. I've been training basically 8 to 10 rounds with all my black belts. I have 10 black belts. I feel unbelievable, unstoppable. I'm in
Wow.
a lot of meds. I recover 85, 90%. The doctors still don't know the reason specific why this happened to me. It's all monitoring as recovery. So I really believe, I don't know, as I say to you, I don't just, like a cheap talk. I really believe that everything bad that we think is that bad sometimes give us a massive lessons. I wasn't sleeping enough. I wasn't doing breathing techniques enough. I wasn't doing things that actually get my mind calm and control my emotions better in a way that I'm not stressing my body. And
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu should teach us this every day. When you're under pressure, somebody's there. You don't breathe like this. You stay calm, use your diaphragm. We all know this. We all been there. So that was another turning point for me. That was like, man, look, I came from literally from that. At 50 years old, I found out I was gonna die.
Wow.
And at 51, I'm going back and made my retirement competition because I chose to.
I love
And
that,
that
man.
wasn't a better feeling. Man, step on the pyramid and looking up to the ceiling was like one of the most incredible feelings I could ever had.
You're such an inspirational person, man. Like this episode is
Thanks,
special.
man.
We did not
Appreciate
know
it.
you at all, and what you're talking about is unbelievable. Now, one of the things that people find, I find this for myself, when things are bad, then I develop, I grow, I discover new ways, and things become amazing. And then I'm like at the top of the roller coaster, and nothing can stop me. And then I get lazy, because everything's too good. You know,
Man, I was just mentioning this. Do you guys feel like when you train, right? When you guys training, especially you being a female, obviously, we all know, you feel like, some days, like if you go there, right, and you smash everyone at training. Some days I training, as I say, my wife is one of the most incredible athletes. In 6 years, she won 4 titles and he got her black belt.
wow.
He never got a single advantage score of her ever.
What?
Wow.
Wow.
Period.
Wow.
So for me, this is extraordinary human being, right? Somebody ordinary that learns jiu-jitsu and you become extraordinary. That jiu-jitsu story is happen every now and then. You have one person that is ordinary person, and then you find jiu-jitsu and you become extraordinary. Simple as that. Females are extraordinary by nature. They can generate life. Guys, we do a little part. The girls do all the job. Moms are the amazing. I think I admire as a female, as a human being, because they can carry a baby on the belly for 9 months. They'll take a bullet for the rest of their life for their child, right? So, but there will be days that you're training, and then my wife see me training, and then I have, as I say, I have 10 killers, black belts that training daily with me. I'm very lucky that I've built this team plus a bunch of browns and purples, but I have 10 resident black belts, guys in all sizes, all types. The nasty guy, the little guy, the rough guy, the rude guy, the technical guy, you choose. And then you go there and you have a great night and you smash everyone. And I go home and I'm so mad. And he's like, why are you mad? I said, man, I hate my train today. I said, but I saw you tapping everybody. Point made it. What is the learning on that? What is the growing on that? I'd rather get somebody smash me where I can go home and not sleeping for 2 nights, creating strategies so I can go back on the next time and try to beat them back. Woo. And then I think this is the beauty on our sport. We do jiu-jitsu and we're going to get so old. And then c'est la vie. People, they beat me up. I have kids, man. They used to train with me when they're 11 years old. Now they're 21, 22. They come to try to kill me. And I hate and I love it. It's a love and hate relationship. So I create a monster now. And then another day was funny story because the mother came to me and said, oh my God, I love to know what you did to my son, blah, 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 what. You helped to raise him as a good, strong man. I say, good. So maybe now it's time for you to put in the gi, pay me back and start your training. And the mother is training. The mother got the blue belt.
Wow.
Recently. How incredible is that,
Fantastic.
So I think this synergy that we create inside, as I say, I'm really proud to have a school. I don't think I have a gym or academy. I never wanted that title. And I never want to have that kind. I want to have a thing that you could feel like you're part of a school. When I training with Sensei Saulo, they used to run the University of Jiu-Jitsu in San Diego, which, by the way, they're probably one of the most extreme and extraordinary training I have done in my existence. In 36 years Jiu-Jitsu, I never experienced something. When I used to do camps there, Saulo used to call the Hell Week, right? So for 2 weeks previous the World's Master, we're going to get a bunch of guys, including Lovato Jr., Sensei Shandy, you name it. We'll be 50 killers, black belts. All 4, 5 degrees, those guys that have a lot of experience, you know what I'm talking about. And then we will train in 3 hours in the morning, brutal training, and 3 hours a night.
Wow.
I personally, I don't know if you guys have, but I haven't experienced a training like this to that point.
No.
And that, as I say, once again, back to the point, one of the hardest things, make me feel so miserable to the point like I cannot win a match. But later on, looking back now, I was like, man, this is another thing that make me grow so much. Which I know now the bar and the limitations of my body. I know that I can take it and I'm going to be brutal, but I can take it.
I love it.
And the more I come back on the next very day, the more you're getting better, the more improving. Your mental toughness improved tremendous. And it's not just like if things don't work, it's like I can come back. Because failure, if you think about it, like, what is failure? Failure is a fairy tale. I heard Kobe Bryant say this is one of the most brilliant quotes. Because if you think about it, if you can come back on next day and fix the mistake, you never fail it. Failure is only if you die, right? I tried to sweep you, right? I tried to sweep you from a half guard sweep, and then I tried that and it didn't work. Is this called a failure? Or I didn't won that match in the comp and there's a failure? I don't really see that way, because if I can go back, I won multiple times the Pampex, I won the Oceania, I got third place in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
Results that probably I learned more from the defeats than I learned from the times that I won by advantage or a sweep or something like this. You know what I mean? So I think Jiu-Jitsu is an extraordinary thing that can teach us so much.
Love it.
Yeah, yeah.
Love it.
And Douglas, tell us how you got linked in with Six Blades. How did you meet up with Zanji?
I
Or
was
how did that happen?
what happened was obvious. I got invited to go to Abu Dhabi by a good friend on the first World Pro 2009. He asked me, "Sir, do you want to go to Abu Dhabi? I give you an invitation. You're gonna have free pass visas. I find hotel for you to stay actually in the ADCC Combat Club, like the real ADCC Combat Club. You can stay there on the accommodation. They kind of abandoned, the sheikhs don't really look after the place anymore. So I say, okay. He said to me, opportunity is like a wild horse. Jump in or you're going to miss out. I wasn't competing in New Zealand for a very long time. I was actually having a lot of criticism. People like, oh, this guy can fight. He's just blah, blah, blah. You know, the pop tall syndrome. He came to New Zealand. Who you think he is? The classic story. A Brazilian guy that is hated. So that's, I said, that's cool. I don't need to prove anything to anybody that I can't fight. I can fight. Just show up here and show you that I can fight.
Yeah.
So I took the opportunity. Man, this is what I do every day. Is like have a drink of water. So I went to Abu Dhabi, and obviously I was there for a very long time. You know, we had the Abu Dhabi trials in New Zealand for a while. The number started to drop, which was sadly was no support and start, as I said, the pop top syndrome. Why he's doing the World Pro. So one of those times that I was in Abu Dhabi, I can remember for 2009, 2010, was the year they did gi no gi. So they hold us there for 2 weeks. So it was amazing. Spent 2 weeks in Abu Dhabi in a 7-star hotel.
Wow.
Treat like a celebrity, you know. And one of those times I was in line waiting myself, because every time I was going there, I was like, I'm here, I'm going to fight. I'm not going to waste this opportunity. I'm going to compete. So Shandy touched my shoulder and said, are you waiting on the heavyweight? I said, yes. Obviously, I knew who he was, you know, but I didn't pay a groupie, or I just tried to stay together. It's like, man, that is Shandy Ribeiro. And then he started to talk to me. Shandy is a very friendly. And we bound straight away. I think when you find someone, Sensei Saulo told me so many lessons, man, about life and people. And he said, when you look someone, look into their soul. Don't look to their eyes, don't look to their body. Look to people's soul, and you'll find out who they are straight away. And I really believe on that. I use these lessons with me forever now. When I look to someone, I look deep into their soul, and I feel the energy straight away. And me and Shandy, we found that, you know, we really love each other like brothers, and it's been so many years and so many hours and hours of training and beating and biting each other. We developed a great relationship. He asked me if I want to be part of the Ribeiro Jiu-Jitsu on that time, obviously. It took a little while because obviously, you know, I was hesitating, because I was basically by myself in New Zealand. Man, I want to be part of the Ribeiro brothers. Wow. That was even, you know, was like overwhelming. But then I thought it was a good. I talked to my guys in Brazil. They could not help me any longer. I was in New Zealand. They were in Brazil. And even the guy that gave my black belt, Murilo Rupp, he said, look, man, Saulo Ribeiro and Shani Ribeiro won on their team. Come on, man. They can make, you know, the goals that you have happen. You can be a champion, you can win, you know. These guys will help you to be a champion. So I went to San Diego, and it was funny. The first time I met Sensei Saulo, he's probably one of the most incredible human beings I have the opportunity to spend time with and training under, and spend hours, countless conversations. And it was funny because he said to me, he's really, you think I'm intense? That guys like make me feel like a little baby. He said, on Wednesday, you come to San Diego and then we're going to talk about, I was like, holy man, this guy is scary. So I got to the University of Jiu-Jitsu, was no one there, was empty. And then I saw he arrived on his big Hummer, and I was like, ouch, this doesn't sound good. man. And then he opened the Universal Jiu-Jitsu and was just me and him. A friend dropped me off and said, good luck. I was like, man, this is just getting worse and worse. So I said, we're going to have a class. He's like, no, it's just me and you. I was like, wow. And then I remember my friend asking him, I said, how long you guys going to train? And he just looked at me. You have to understand that this was on Monday, Wednesday, after the World's Master. Saulo just won double gold. You should be resting, chilling, take time off. And then he looked to the guy and said, we're going to train for as long as that guy can handle. So I was like, okay, this is a dead sense. And obviously, no, he's going to beat the crap out of me. But we ended up having a good training. Obviously, he did beat the crap out of me, but we did good training. I always showed some things that I was capable to do. But we rolled for 47 minutes.
Nice.
And then after, he took me out, paid me lunch, and and say, welcome to the family. You are raw diamond, and I will be happy to polish you. What you have in your heart is very hard. You're a very special guy, and I want you to be part of a team. You're gonna be a good representative. And then we had a great relationship. Two obviously you have different ideas, and Shandy decided to create the six blade, and obviously Shandy was the initial guy that I spoke to, since Saulo is no longer teaching and have the university. So obviously it was an easy decision for me to merge.
Wow, what a story, man. That's amazing. And what defines, like, for you, an incredible person? Because that's what you're talking about him as, an incredible person.
Man, I think in life, so you find people, right? You meet people through life, and there are people that are gonna pass through your life, and you know them, and you, hey, how you doing? Good, great, grand. And there are people that really leave a mark, an impact on you. That whatever you learn, wherever you talk to them, wherever you spend time, and just feel each other, feel the essence of every human being. I think we all have this special talent, and we just need to find what it is. I think I'm good in communicating with people, and I'm so passionate about the things that I do, and I put my heart and my soul, sometimes even too much. So also should tell me, love less, my brother, love less. You care too much, you love too much. So I think it's a love less, man. Love less. You love too much. You care too much about people, and you're suffering. And then I think the lessons also that he gave me about life through jiu-jitsu, like, because everything connected back to jiu-jitsu. I think the life and the mat, and the life that he made me see life through jiu-jitsu eyes, and
Wow.
then my life became much easier. So I really believe that, when you see life through jiu-jitsu eyes, your life is much easier.
Wow.
So I start to understand people, and start people intentions, and trying to find the essence of a person, not for what he's wearing or what he does, but actually who you truly are. And I think jiu-jitsu has this intimidate times that we spend so close and so much energy exchange. You want to know someone, you train with them. You will know if they are someone that gonna take advantage of you, or they're gonna be kind to you, or they're gonna be rough, or those guys that are really mean, or they're selfish and I just wanna hurt you. I don't wanna train to see the beauty of jiu-jitsu that you have, so I can observe and pass my jiu-jitsu to you, and we both get together. When you create this synergy, and then it's how we evolve. I think the best friends that I made it competing against them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we
Those people were actually trying to hurt you. Well, not intentionally,
we
but
don't know how
would,
many times you go.
Yeah.
How many times you go to a tournament and you look into each other on the bull pit and like, I'm gonna kill you. And then you look at each other, and as soon as they finish, their vibe is gone.
Absolutely.
And you wanna know who the person it is, and you wanna, man, give me your contacts. If you come to New Zealand, please come and visit me. Oh, is what it is. I found Mark Lower from I think he's from Gold Coast. Is a legacy guy. Man, we had a massive final a couple of years ago. We headbutt each other, and he beat me via referee decision, making me so mad. I want to pull his bear out, and I was so angry. And then, man, the guy came visit me in New Zealand. I love the guy, man. I love to talk to him. I love to spend time with him. I said, now we're going to pay you more for, we're going to kill each other here on my house. And we had a great training session, and I love the guy, man. He's
Awesome.
such a good vibe. And as I say, we got so, sometimes you meet friends, you don't have the intimacy that you have when you train jiu-jitsu. You're so close, man.
Absolutely.
Oh, you exchange knowledge. I'm about to squeeze your neck, and then if you tap, I'm gonna let it go because I don't want to hurt you. But we test each other's, we go deep into each other's soul.
So true.
So I think that's the art of making friends is training jiu-jitsu, man. I cannot spend a day in my life without training that I'm gonna go nuts.
Mm-hmm. I hear you right there.
You know what I mean? I think the older we get,
we only have a little over 5 minutes to go with this recording. Yeah, Anton, did you want to take the final question? No, never too much. Yeah. Not at all.
Well, I do actually. I'll share a little tiny piece of what my experience was in Russia only 2 weeks ago. Right, white belt, 2 classes, wrestling background, but no jiu-jitsu background. Right, this guy seems like a really nice guy. We roll and he gets me in a single leg, lifts my leg up and yanks it to the side, and my knee pops. I go down, I'm squirming, I'm screaming, and I can't train anymore. I can't train for another, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, whatever. I go back to say goodbye in Russia to, my new friends there. Jiu-jitsu clubs are the same all over the world. And this guy's so nice, right? But he really messed me up. He really messed up my leg. And what you're saying resonates with me because, even a guy who hurt me bonded with me, and I bonded with him, even though he's really messed me up for a while. What is your view about this sort of stuff, man? I'm interested.
As I said, we just got 4 minutes to go, Douglas. Yeah. So we'll need to do it in 4 minutes.
So what happened is very simple, right? Who is in the end of the day, whose fault was that?
Mine.
Your fault.
100%, because the guy is a white belt. He's innocent. He has no clue. He has probably no even understanding what the damage he could cause. He could pop completely a ligament out. You love to train, Do you understand? So in the end of the day, I feel like when you train with a lower belt, it's our obligation to educate these people. I've been educating my students how to make a question. You know why? Because if you sit in a room and I spend a very technical time explaining how to do a choke and get lapel and the angles, the leverage, the position, the alignment of the body, and then one student raise the hand and say, what if when you do this? The what if is what we call variations of the position. So you need to understand that a reasonable question will be, okay, so when I get the lapel, how do I make a little tighter? So you talk about the subject and not what if. So on this case, we need to educate people. Obviously, the guy is a wrestler. He's gonna muscle you up. He will never accept a guy that is smaller than him or know more than he think. You know what I mean? Gonna go there and try to do things to him. So he put the knee to the side, probably completely innocent without realizing what could do. Because on his mind, that's the right thing to do. So in the end of the day,
I'm with you, brother.
You know what I mean? It's always our fault because we are the ones that have the knowledge. We understand better. Yeah. So in the end of the day, it is what it is. But I think the more we have opportunities, we need to educate people. I love the old school style. I love the ball. I love to respect the hierarchy. I think class has time to start and time to finish. I have 200 students, 100 kids and 100 adults, and everybody knows how, we are friendly, we are cool. I'm not God or anything. I'm just an old guy that doing jiu-jitsu for a very long time. But I think the hierarchy, the discipline, the respect, all these things, without this is not a martial art. The martial side of the discipline and the beauty of the art. That's the combination. That's what jiu-jitsu is. Without this, I'm sorry, we have a indigenous tribal. Everybody's doing whatever they like, and I don't like this.
That's a perfect place to end it, I think. Thank you so much, Douglas, for giving up your time. We'll have this episode out in a couple of weeks.
Thank you, guys, man.
If you could share it on your social media, we can grow our audience in New Zealand as well. That would be fantastic.
Absolutely.
That would be awesome. Thanks, Anton, did you want to take it out?
I will, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate you guys, Richard. And
Yeah,
Man, thank you
fantastic.
so much. Really appreciate
Anton,
you
you
being
wanna
on the show. You're an absolute rock star, man. A beautiful, humble, passionate human being who's come from
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
very different background, man. And you are crushing life, man. You're an inspiration to us all. Thanks very much.
Thanks. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it, guys. Appreciate your time. Thank you. Us.
See you on the mats.
Us.
Bye-bye.
See you on the mats. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.